Hi, it's Nathan here coming to you from Bali, and today I'm answering the question, what is a safe work method statement and what should one contain? So a safe work method statement is a document that outlines how to do a task safely, and it's legally required for high-risk construction work. There's about 20 different types of high-risk construction work, but the most common ones we see are working at heights over 2 meters, work involving mobile plant, work in a trench or excavation over 1.5 meters. There's a few other common ones. Quite often we'll see companies being asked to provide SWMS for tasks that aren't high-risk construction work, things like tiling or even garden maintenance. Even though it's not legally required for those tasks, if your client is asking for a SWMS for that, you've only got a few choices. One is don't do the job, or you could argue with them, or you can just give them the document. So most of the time clients just decide to give them the document. What should a SWMS contain? That's a fairly easy one to answer. There's about 5 or 6 dot points in the regulations that need to go in a SWMS. First one is it needs to identify what the high-risk construction work is, needs to identify the hazards and controls for the high-risk construction work, as well as how those controls are going to be implemented, monitored and reviewed. It also needs to take into consideration factors at the workplace that could affect the work, so things like weather or interaction with other work crews. Also needs to take into consideration the WHS management plan for the site, if there is one. So other than that, over time, SWMS have sort of developed into these bigger and bigger documents. Large companies and government keep sort of demanding that they want more and more in SWMS, to the point where, nowadays they'll have manual handling and slips, trips and falls and HazCam, and some of them will demand that it needs to be a step-by-step breakdown of the task with hazards and controls at each step, which sounds great, but in practice it just blows the SWMS out into a 20 or 30 page document. And on some sites you'll have multiple SWMS, so it could be, into the hundreds of pages of documents which are giving frontline workers, which is absolutely useless, doesn't improve safety at all. And conversely, it makes workers lose respect for safety because they just have no chance of sort of understanding and implementing all these documents. But once again, if your clients are demanding that they want to see that within the SWMS, you'd only have a few options: either do it, argue, or don't do the job. So, hope that helps, and see you next time.